Good afternoon. We will call to order the November 3rd meeting of the Phoenix City Council. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Councilwoman Ansari.
Here.
Councilman DeCiccio.
Here.
Councilwoman Guardado.
Here.
Councilwoman O'Brien.
Present.
Councilwoman Pastor.
Here.
Councilwoman Stark.
Here.
Councilman Waring.
Here.
Vice Mayor Garcia. I apologize, Vice Mayor Garcia. I see you. Thank you very much. Mayor Gallego.
Thank you. Mario Barajas is with us here today to provide interpretation. Mario, will you introduce yourself?
Yes, Mayor, thank you. Hello, my name is Mario Barajas, and together I'm here to interpret for our Spanish speakers for today. And I will now like to take the moment to introduce myself to our Spanish speakers and review a couple of housekeeping matters with them. Hola, buenas tardes. Bienvenidos a la reunión formal del Consejo Municipal. Mi nombre es Mario Barajas y estaré sirviéndoles hoy como intérprete para los de habla hispana. Deseo pedirles de antemano, si es que van a dar un comentario público, por favor, hable despacio, con claridad y evite tener distracciones de fondo. Finalmente, pause después de cada una o dos oraciones para que pueda interpretarles lo que esté diciendo de la manera más completa posible. Muchas gracias. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Mario. Will the city clerk please read the 24-hour paragraph?
The titles of the following ordinance and resolution numbers on the agenda were available to the public at least 24 hours prior to this council meeting and therefore may be read by title or agenda item only. Ordinances number G 6871, 6908 through 6915 and 6917, S 48072 through 48087, and resolutions 21973 to 21976.
Thank you. Vice Mayor, do we have a motion on boards and commissions? Item 1.
Motion to approve mayor and city council boards and commission nominations.
Second.
All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Opposed, please say nay. Passes unanimously. We next move to liquor licenses. The city provides an advisory role to the state. Vice Mayor, do we have a motion?
Motion to approve items 2 through 10.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any questions or comments? All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, please say nay. Passes unanimously. City Clerk, are we ready for ordinances, resolutions, new business, planning, and zoning?
Yes, Mayor.
Vice Mayor, do we have a motion?
Motion to approve items 11 through 50, except the following. Items 14, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. Item 47 is as revised. Item 49 is requested to be withdrawn. And excluding these items for public comment, 38, 45, 46, 47, and 48.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any comments?
Sorry, go ahead, Mayor. I'm sorry.
No, please.
I was just
What
going to
else?
see if we included number 18. Number 18.
Vice Mayor, you're comfortable adding 18 to the list of items removed from consent?
Yes, remove item 18.
All right. So now we'll have roll call on the Vice Mayor's motion, which will include item 18. Roll call.
Ansari.
Yes.
DeCiccio.
Yes.
Guardado.
Yes.
O'Brien.
Yes.
Pastor. Stark.
Yes.
Waring.
Yes.
Garcia.
Yes.
And Mayor, I've been advised that item 17 also needs to be pulled. I apologize.
Wonderful. Would you like us to begin roll call again?
Yes, as long as the maker of the motion is okay with adding that and the second. Thank you so much.
Mayor, are you comfortable removing item 17 from the consent agenda?
Yes.
And I am too.
Thank you to our seconder. We'll do roll call again, including both items 17 and 18.
Ansari. DeCiccio.
Yes.
Guardado.
Yes.
O'Brien.
Yes.
Pastor. Stark.
Yes.
Waring.
Yes.
Garcia.
Yes.
Gallego. Passes 9-0.
Next, move to item 14, a contract with the Area Agency on Aging, and I'll turn to Councilwoman Ansari.
Mayor, I just wanted to give a special shout out to this item. I think it's great. We know that in Phoenix, older adults tend to be on tighter budgets and continue to be the most at-risk community for complications due to COVID-19. So I'm very happy to see one-time ARPA funds being used to help get them groceries and medication to their homes, especially during the upcoming holidays. We've had residents and friends in my district who have reached out and have let us know that they're still opting for online pickup and delivery to avoid crowds. And we know that these tools can especially be tricky and hard to keep up with without access to reliable internet and even a mobile phone. So I think these efforts will go a really long way to keep communities protected, especially as we work to keep vaccination rates up and help deliver the latest booster information. So very excited about this item. And with that, I move to approve item 14.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any additional comments? Certainly agree with the councilwoman. The Area Agency on Aging have been a great partner with us during the pandemic, and AARP actually early on in the pandemic really emphasized the importance of serving those who were homebound. So thanks to all who have started this and continued it. Roll call.
Ansari.
Yes.
DeCiccio.
Yes.
Guardado.
Yes.
O'Brien.
Yes.
Pastor. Stark.
Yes.
Waring.
Yes.
Garcia.
Yes.
Gallego. Passes 9-0.
We next move to item 17, which is the issuance of project revenue bonds for Provident Group Costa Isabella properties. Do we have a motion?
Motion to approve item 17.
Second.
A motion and a second. Any comments?
Mayor, this is Councilwoman Pastor. Are any of those, any of the people that are benefiting from this issuance on the phone?
Mayor, we do not have anyone signed up to speak on item 17 at this time.
Okay, I have several questions on item 17.
Please go ahead.
So item 17 happens to be in Puerto Rico, which was hit very hard by Hurricane Maria and is rebuilding as we speak. And in Costa Isabella, they are wanting to put in that area a hotel in that area and do improvements. Also, one of the things about Puerto Rico is that due to the economy and some of the pharmaceutical businesses leaving Puerto Rico for a while back has also devastated the island in the sense of jobs. And so it has been told to me that, this is a great project because jobs will be coming back. In Puerto Rico, the average pay is about between $8 and $10. And in that island, you also have high electricity costs and high water costs. So I think it's nice that we say or there are going to be jobs. I had a meeting with the mayor and people around this project. And in that conversation, it talked about the project of talking about going, that there's a nonprofit that will be benefiting from this or be part of this. As I did further research, I thought the nonprofit was in Puerto Rico, and I discovered it wasn't. And that there was going to be community benefit. And so I started to ask more questions. And in the process, I wanted to make sure that there were some apprenticeship pieces and jobs pieces of training to be those that entered the hotel industry were able to have an opportunity to get further their education and be able to be part of this. So my question is to Mr. Salgado is if he had contacted the group and asked if that could be possible, a possibility for this project.
Mayor, Councilman Pastor, and council members. Good afternoon. I'm Ginger Spencer, Deputy City Manager, and I am the city's liaison to the Phoenix IDA. Before I introduce our panel members here, I would like to say that the IDA, there are several IDAs that are located throughout the state. Various counties have IDAs, and then various cities have IDAs. With me this afternoon is Mr. Juan Salgado, who is the CEO, Executive Director of the Phoenix IDA, and also Mr. Mike Santillanes, also on Juan's team. What I'd like to say is the bond programs that the IDA issues are basically in 4 areas. It would be healthcare, it would be economic development, it would be education, and also there's one more that I'm missing. Is it regular community development, regular projects? And so when we do projects both locally as well as out of state, when we do have out of state transactions, the fees from those transactions actually come back to benefit the local community, being Phoenix. And so as Councilman Pastor said, this is an out of state project in Costa Rica. Although there's been a community benefit identified for Phoenix, there are questions regarding the benefit to the residents of Puerto Rico. And so with that, I'll turn it over to Mr. Juan Salgado to answer your questions.
Mayor, Councilman Pastor, and members of the council, I believe your question was that you had asked me to contact the developer in regards to committing to providing training programs for the residents or the folks involved with the project for Puerto Rico. Is that correct?
I did not. I asked you to contact whoever needed to be contacted that was part of this project.
Okay. Mayor, Councilman Pastor, I have spoken with the project lead, which is Mr. Stephen Hicks, who's the president of Provident. They are the 501c3 that is managing the process. And so he has said that in the agreement that was established between Isabella and the tourism and the developer, including the Commonwealth of Puerto Rico, there are some features in there describing a percent of dollars that will be going to support local training for the residents of Puerto Rico. In addition to that, they have committed to meet with us after the sale of the after the property has been financed, and discuss with us in detail what else can be done to support the residents of Puerto Rico.
Thank you. And the reason why I have was asking for this was not just to create jobs, it was really to create careers within Puerto Rico. Because there's the median income of $14,000 within that island and 1,000 under Puerto Rico's medium income. So I would like to, I'm glad to hear that commitment, because I would like this project to help really people out of poverty and build careers within their island, and to be able to advance their family and get the education that is needed or wanted by them. So I'm glad to hear that that conversation was taking place. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Any additional questions about the project? And one from me. There's a global conversation going now around sustainable finance right now, and I noticed that's not one of our 4 priority areas. Is the board due to evaluate the priority areas soon?
Mayor Gallego, that is a great question, and I'll turn that over to Mr. Salgado to respond to that.
I'm sorry, Mayor, would you repeat your question?
There is a global conversation going on right now about sustainability and financing projects in that area. I noticed that was not one of our 4 priority areas, and it seems to me time to revisit that. Is the board scheduled to discuss strategic planning?
Mayor, I can assure you that that will be on our agenda to have that conversation moving forward.
Wonderful. And we have some very good priorities. Our project with Mayo was a wonderful one, and the one that's coming up next, also a great one. I personally have a preference for ones that we have in Phoenix.
Thank you, Mayor.
All right. Seeing no additional questions or comments, roll call.
Ansari. DeCiccio.
Yes.
Guardado.
Yes.
O'Brien.
No.
Pastor.
Yes.
Stark.
Yes.
Waring.
Yes.
Garcia.
Yes.
Gallego. Passes 8-1.
Next up is item 18, issuing multifamily housing revenues for Harmony at the Park 2 project. We have a motion.
Motion to approve item 18.
Second.
A motion and a second. Any questions or comments?
Mayor?
Councilman DeCiccio.
Thank you, Mayor. So I just want to let you know, this is not a reflection on you at all, my comments. It's more about the process of how things get done. It's not just here, it's happening across the country. There's a shortage of affordable housing throughout the entire country. But what ends up happening, and I wrote about this, years ago, and I'll just give everybody an example of what happened and what I believe is happening here when I go through these numbers. So a few years back, the city of Phoenix was building affordable housing on property they already owned, and it ended up coming at $305,000 a door. People could have been able to build apartments at $150,000 a door at the time. So literally doubled the cost of what you would find anywhere else. Wasn't about federal regulations. It wasn't about anything else like that. It was just doubling the cost because the city of Phoenix was involved in it. And I'll explain how that money does and how we end up cheating the poor. And this is good, I believe, is just going to be another example of that. We could have literally doubled the amount of units in the private sector, that for affordable housing. We could have done it, done everything else exactly the same. in this case here, the City of Phoenix is a partner, which means it gets its part of the share and all that. So it allows, so by doing that, we allow inefficiencies in the system. Right now, the cost per door, the cost is about $315,000 a unit. You can build, not buy, you can build on your own land houses for $315,000 a unit. And a one-bedroom is going for a little over $1,000 a month. I believe it's $1,029 a month is what it's scheduled to do. That's not affordable for most people. So what ends up happening is that you get these governmental entities that are involved in it. They get their share, and we basically let these organizations, these private sector groups, these companies from the private sector to take advantage of it because we get a small cut out of it. And I'm telling you, it's just insane. Right now, paying $315,000 a door for affordable housing just doesn't make sense. Anywhere, any logic, it just doesn't make sense. So I had issues with this before. I'll have issues with this now. And if we don't find less expensive ways of doing these things, we're only cheating those people that deserve the housing and should have been opened up. We could have more than doubled it before, and I don't know what the numbers are in the private sector now for like the cost of affordable housing, a cost of regular housing. But at the time, we sold the most expensive units that sold. Remember, we were building, right? And we built at $305,000 door. Were $277,000 a unit. Now, they had valet service. They had dry cleaning service. They had an amazing pool and a workout area, better than anywhere else that I've seen. And that sold for $277,000 a door when Phoenix was building it for $305,000 a door for affordable housing on land that they already owned. So we've got to figure out a better way of doing this, and I think there is a better way. I've outlined it, but we've got to start becoming more competitive, and plus this is an out-of-state group. If you look at it, this is the same group over and over again that gets all these contracts. There's a reason for that. No, except for others. Thank you, Mayor, and I'm going to be voting no.
Thank you, Councilman DeCiccio. I find this project very exciting. There's a need for 3 and 4 bedroom units in affordable housing. There's so many of them that are 1 bedroom or maybe 2 or even just anyway. And we have large families, often multi-generational. When we were developing Edison Eastlake and we did all the community meetings, we heard over and over again, I want to be with my entire family. And that's something that I certainly respect. To me, this is a very complicated site. Significant archaeology. I appreciate that for both this project and the one that the city has at Edison Eastlake. We have been very respectful of the archaeology and moving of the bodies. And there's also additional costs on this, like relocating families that are not something you would see in other projects. So personally, I will very much looking forward to supporting this. It's in line with the vision of the community and our need to do more affordable housing projects. And I believe I saw Councilwoman Stark as well.
Yes, thank you, Mary. You stole some of my thunder. I was going to mention that I think a lot of the costs, and Councilman DeCiccio, you're right, we got to look at a better way of doing this, but the costs include demolition, and then there's remediation of the property as well. And you have to locate the people during the construction, but I hope we can find better ways to drive down the cost. I think the actual cost without demolition, remediation, relocating people, addressing the archaeological would be about $136 per square foot, which would bring a unit to about $178,000. So I'm very excited about this project as well, but I do think we need to continue to find ways to make it more affordable to build affordable housing. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Councilwoman Wilson.
Mayor, could I respond back to that? Oh, sorry.
Sure.
So, yeah, you may have some extra costs. We heard the same arguments before. They said because of all the federal regulations, which all turned out to be bunk. None of it was true. I mean, even with those regulations that were impacted or that would have impacted the project, it still came out to about $150,000 a door. You have the same company getting all these bids, these contracts from us. Same one, each one, time and time again, because they're willing to do whatever it is we're asking them to do, and it just takes out the competition, is what it does. So I'm telling you, it's too expensive. $315,000 a door, and granted you may have some extra costs here. Your average cost for a Class A apartment, Class A, is $240,000 a door. That's with the highest end of everything. Wood floors, carpeting everywhere. You're talking dry cleaning service, valet service, great parking. That's your hard cost construction for a top-of-the-line Class A building, $240,000 a door. There's no way about almost $100,000 more is added on. Just do the math. It's impossible to add that much more. So I'm telling you, if we want to see more affordable housing, we've got to open this thing up and allow housing to be built. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Vice Mayor.
Thank you, Mayor, and thank you all for this conversation. I'm really excited, like you said, the 3 4-bedroom units, and especially in District 8 and our entire city, we need more affordable housing. So excited to support this project. Listening to what Sal's saying, I've said this before, but I think as a city and speaking to staff, we should in the future look to how either we develop ourselves as a city or co-develop with partners to make sure that we can get the best deals. And so from this conversation, what I'm taking is that maybe we reopen and look into the possibility of us as a city being developers or co-developers. So I'll be supporting this project. Thank you.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Any additional comments? And this one is unusual for us. We've done some single-family housing with the IDA, but most of the other IDA votes we've had recently have not been this type of affordable housing investment. It's also different than many of the housing projects that have come through our council where we've been allocating home funds or other projects. This is issuing bonds, so it's not our general fund dollars or home funds going into this project. With that, roll call.
Ansari.
Yes.
DeCiccio.
No.
Guardado.
Yes.
O'Brien.
Yes.
Pastor.
Yes.
Stark.
Yes.
Waring.
No.
Garcia.
Yes.
Gallego. Passes 7-2.
Items 25 through 29 are all related to our transit system. Shall we take them together? All right, Vice Mayor, do we have a motion on 25 through 29?
Motion to approve items 25 through 29.
Yeah.
Questions or comments?
Mayor, could we just pull out
Councilman,
26 and 27? I'd vote for them with, sorry. I'll vote for the 26 and 27 with comments.
Wonderful. Okay, then we'll.
Yeah.
Okay, so then Vice Mayor, could we have a motion on 25, 28, and 29?
Motion to approve 25, 28, and 29.
Thank you.
Second.
Questions or comments on 25, 28, and 29? Roll call.
Ansari.
Yes.
DeCiccio.
No.
Guardado.
Yes.
O'Brien.
Yes.
Pastor.
Yes.
Stark.
Yes.
Waring.
No.
Garcia.
Yes.
Gallego. Passes 7-2.
Vice Mayor, could we have a motion on 26 and 27?
Motion to approve item 26 and 27.
Second.
Turn to Councilman DeCiccio for comments.
Thank you, Mayor. And I'll make it very brief, and I want to thank staff for bringing it forward. This is more along the lines of, creating an RFP for public outreach. And I think when it comes to transit or anything that we do, public outreach is a critical thing. And I think this is going to be important. But this is more of a longer type question, not a longer type, but it's I hope that we start looking at local companies. In the past, if you look at a lot of these contracts that have been let by the transit groups, they have been let to large companies outside of the state. And we have large companies here. We have companies here in Arizona that can do this work. Matter of fact, they're going to other states right now. And for some reason, there's still this belief that someone from out of state is better than what we have here. So it's more of a message to transit. Let's take a really hard look at the local people and look at their qualifications and the fact that these companies are all over the place. And we don't have to bring in national companies into the state of Arizona. We can keep these dollars here. And that's it, Mayor, and I'm going to vote for it. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman DeCiccio. Vice Mayor.
Agreeing with Sal again. I really do think cultural competency and folks that can speak, just having lived through the South extension, it's going to be really important to have good processes and have some local folks doing this work. So just wanted to highlight that as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman Ansari.
Mayor, I've also had the opportunity to see just how important it is to have the community have a say in what's being developed in their neighborhoods through the South Central TOD process earlier this year. It's obviously all about spurring local mobility, so the local perspective and goals are a crucial part of the light rail expansion process's success. So I'm really excited about what will come from this plan, but also moving forward with the expansion in general. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Any additional comments? Roll call.
Ansari,
Yes.
DeCiccio,
Yes.
Guardado,
Yes.
O'Brien,
Yes.
Pastor,
Yes.
Stark,
Yes.
Waring,
No.
Garcia,
Yes.
Gallego. Passes 8-1.
We now move to our planning and zoning matters after a big day for transit. We'll begin with item 38 in the Vice Mayor's District, which is a dedication of a map of the southeast corner of 59th Avenue and Baseline. We do have one member of the public to comment. I'll turn to the Vice Mayor for a motion.
Motion to approve item 38.
Second.
A motion and a second. We'll turn to Mark Rodriguez.
Hello, Mayor Kate Gallego and everybody at the Phoenix City Council. How you all doing today? Doing well, Mayor Kate Gallego. And I see you and Yazzie are in the hotel broadcasting live because, hey, I'm talking about the 59th Avenue Baseline. We're getting an Ollie's and all that stuff. And also a Denny's and we got a TJ Maxx. We got a Michael's. We got a Jack in the Box. We got everything. And I'm waiting for a movie theater to come out. That you guys planning it because I was waiting for that because I've been waiting for it. Me and my mom waiting it. Alma Gomez is my mom's name. And I was waiting for other stores to come open this year. And Mayor Kate Gallego, I always been liking you ever since 2019 because you're kind of a cool mayor. You're kind of awesome. And also, I love to shout out to all of you guys except Sal DeCiccio. I am not a fan of you, Sal DeCiccio. It is what it is because I'm just respecting you, Mayor, and the city councils. And also, Mayor Kate Gallego, I hope you have a great time. And Deborah Stark, I give you a Christmas card early because I hope you get it because I talked to you guys in your office because Mrs. Stark, I know you're got it because, I kind of like you, Mayor Gallego, and members of the city council, except Sal DeCiccio. Not a fan of him, but hey, you know what it is. and Mayor Kate Gallego, and I hope you see me real soon. And also, you can talk to me and all that stuff, because you can ask me questions. And I wanted to say, how y'all doing and all that stuff, because I kind of miss seeing you guys ever since September, since you gave me that certificate. And Mayor Gallego, have a wonderful day. Sayonara.
I got the card. It's Charlie Brown.
Thank you, Stark. Yep. Thank you, Deborah Stark. I hope you got it.
I did. Thank you.
But Deborah Stark, you rock.
You do too.
And Deborah Stark, I would love to see you in person. And again, when you're not busy. And Mayor Gallego and members of the City Council, I'll give you a holiday card when I get the money. Have a wonderful time.
Thank you, Mark. So after that testimony in support of the map, we will turn any comments. Roll call on 38.
Ansari.
Yes.
DeCiccio.
Yes.
Guardado.
Yes.
O'Brien.
Yes.
Pastor.
Yes.
Stark.
Yes.
Waring.
Yes.
Garcia.
Yes.
Gallego. Passes 9-0.
Stay on 59th Avenue for item 45, but enter Councilwoman Ansari's district. So we will open the public hearing. We have one member of the public to speak on behalf of the applicant, Manjula Vaz.
Good afternoon, Mayor, members of the council. For your record, my name is Manjula Vaz with the law firm of Gamage and Burnham, 2 North Central, Phoenix 85004. I am here today on behalf of PB Bell. Without any comments, I certainly won't go into a presentation. I did want to say thank you to Councilwoman Ansari and to her staff, who have been great. This project started a little rough, but they've been great working with us. And certainly also want to thank the village chair and the vice chair and members of Levine Village and the members of Paseo Point. I know that they are looking forward to more retail in Levine, and I think bringing more high-quality multifamily into the core will help bring that retail, and we've certainly told them that we're all committed, as is the seller, to bringing more retail to Levine. So with that, I'm happy to answer any questions and appreciate your support.
Thank you. Does anyone have any questions? All right, we'll close the public hearing, and I will turn to Councilwoman Ansari.
Thank you, Mayor. I'll just say a few comments. This was one of my first big projects going through as a councilwoman representing District 7. I knew it was very important for the Levine Village to have their voice heard through this process. That's why I'm extremely thankful to Alan and the Planning and Development team for facilitating additional conversations at my request to make sure that some Levine Village Planning Committee members had the chance to speak directly with city staff and the applicants to create a project and make amendments that worked for everyone. From these conversations, there were measures taken to preserve some scenic views along Dobbins Road by reducing one of the buildings from 3 stories to 2 stories. There was also a really good faith effort made by all parties involved to ensure that this project is a positive one for the community and one that helps us work towards our housing plan goals. In hearing from Levine residents, we know and I understand how important it is to maintain the character of the village and make sure that as it continues to grow, that we continue to attract diverse retail and housing. So I'm looking forward to continuing this conversation, but again, just very thankful for all the work that went in to get to this point. And with that, I move to approve item 45 per the Planning and Development Department memo dated November 3rd and adopt the related ordinance.
Second.
A motion and a second. Any further comments? Roll call.
Ansari.
Yes.
DeCiccio.
Yes.
Guardado.
Yes.
O'Brien.
Yes.
Pastor.
Yes.
Stark,
Yes.
Waring,
Yes.
Garcia,
Yes.
Gallego. Passes 9-0.
46, 47, and 48 will have one public hearing. We'll begin with comments from our Planning and Development Director, Alan Stevenson.
Thank you, Mayor, members of council. These three items are three different zoning cases and parcels that are part of one overall redevelopment proposal for a shopping center on the south side of the property adjacent to Baseline Road and a multifamily apartment project on the north side of the project up against the canal. The three projects sit on your agenda as different items because they had different zoning cases. All of the stipulation requests and modifications are dealing with the site plan and the current development format to ensure that it complies with the public's expectations as it relates to the zoning. The one outstanding issue that did come up as part of this is related to item 46, and that had to do with the realignment of 27th Street at Baseline Road. The Vice Mayor has been working with community residents that have had concerns, some of the South Mountain Village Planning Committee members, and the developer to come to a resolution that came out in a memo just a little bit earlier this afternoon that provides for modification of the approval from the Planning Commission to require that there be some changes to the access driveway for the easternmost driveway to the subject site so that it's right in, right out only, that the developer will make a contribution in an escrow account to the Street Transportation Department in the amount of $400,000 to address, $350,000 to address traffic mitigation issues that may arise in the future related to traffic as this area is redeveloped. Those could include a hawk as well as a traffic light at the 25th Street alignment. And with that, staff's happy to answer questions.
Questions or comments before we go to the public hearing? All right. We will open the public hearing. We do have a representative for the applicant, Paul Gilbert.
Thank you, Mayor. We are comfortable with the staff recommendation and want to express this particular appreciation for the Vice Mayor for his very tireless and tenacious efforts in bringing about a compromise that I think is a true win-win for both the developer and the community and the residents. So that's all I have to say. Trust my brevity will be rewarded.
Any comments or questions? We will close the public hearing. Appreciate all who have worked on this. This has been many years in the making, and there's some real traffic concerns, including one issue that went before the entire city council in this area, and we're thinking of families impacted and as well as those who gave their time on this one. Vice Mayor will first take item 45. Do you have a motion on 45?
Mayor, I believe it's item 46.
46, right?
Yeah, item 46.
I'm sorry, 46. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. And I'll just make a quick comment. I want to thank all the community folks who came out to a couple of meetings, to developers for listening, and some of our planning commission and village planning folks that just took some interest, make sure we did the right thing and got everybody on the same page. I do believe that a lot of those safety concerns are taken care of. There's a bus bay that's also included in this project that would prevent some of the issues we've seen in the past, and then look to the streets department to make sure that that money is well spent and that we take the safety of the residents around the area concerns and make sure we try to make it as safe as possible. So with that, I want a motion to approve item 46 based on the November 3rd memo from the Planning and Development Director and adopt the related ordinance.
Second.
Second.
A motion and a second. Any comments? Roll call.
Ansari,
Yes.
DeCiccio,
Yes.
Guardado,
Yes.
O'Brien,
Yes.
Pastor,
Yes.
Stark,
Yes.
Waring,
Yes.
Garcia,
Yes.
Gallego. Passes 9-0.
Mayor, do we have a motion on 47?
Motion to approve item 47 based on the planning hearings officer's recommendation.
Second.
Second.
Any questions or comments? Roll call.
Ansari, DeCiccio,
Yes.
Guardado,
Yes.
O'Brien,
Yes.
Pastor,
Yes.
Stark,
Yes.
Waring,
Yes.
Garcia,
Yes.
Gallego. Passes 9-0.
And finale, item 48, Vice Mayor.
Motion to approve item 48 based on the planning hearings officer's recommendation and adopt the related ordinance.
Second.
Who do you want to shout out, Leila?
I'd like to send her a thank you note. Do you have a number?
Councilwoman O'Brien, it appears your audio is
Oh,
on.
yeah.
Thank you, Mayor. Roll call?
Roll call.
Thank you. Ansari, DeCiccio,
Yes.
Guardado,
Yes.
O'Brien,
Yes.
Pastor,
Yes.
Stark,
Yes.
Waring,
Yes.
Garcia,
Yes.
Gallego. Passes 9-0.
Concludes today's business. We are adjourned.
Drums, and we dispose of that now as oily water.